Back to 45 News Utah. I did bring up a couple shorts talking about venture capitalism, why we're being destroyed by these people. So it sounds harmless enough to say venture capitalism, Blackrock, all these investment firms are all really good for the nation. This is the heartbeat of the nation. They went down, they bought the Panama Canal, and look what they've done for all of us. Great gosh dang, Jim. Truth of the matter is they suck, and they're the ones that's destroying America. They own the apartments, they own the trailer parks, they own the investments. They are the ones demanding money from all of us. So the upper class is using all of us. And one thing to deal with that is just studying trailer parks. This gets into who owns them. Well, the venture capitalists have found a way to sabotage the last of America's most vulnerable. These are people that thought that they could actually retire in a trailer park, which back in the day, they made these little single-wide trailers they put out there for the old generation that they've already sopped up all their money. That's what this whole thing was about. They've spent the past 25 years eating the wealth of the retired individuals that worked their lives away here in this dream called America. Believe me, I'm not asleep. I don't believe it anymore. So what they did is they put these people into, they looked at retirement. They worked at, a factory their whole lives. This is about 10 years ago, and 20 years ago, 2005, people were retiring. They worked their guts out. They just shifted into the retirement mode. 65, they're allowed to retire. They build a good retirement. Well, their money isn't worth enough anymore. They got to retire into a trailer park, and now the rich have decided this is like a Waffle House. A trailer park's like a Waffle House, a retirement park, and the customers are chained to the chairs. The rich have found ways from Florida, and all the rich bastions of the colleges and the affluent areas have found ways to suck the last life out of the most vulnerable, disabled, and retired individuals. And they will go at any lengths to get that from them. They want their money, and they want it now. They raise the price, they raise the rent. Meanwhile, these people are paying out everything they have to just stay alive in 2025. They didn't die during the pandemic, so I'll give you an idea. The suit I wear. Okay, this suit. This suit was from a man that was thrown into a retirement home. He had nothing left. He took off, got an RV, and they were looking for him all over the country. He ended up in Utah. They took the last of his money in the retirement home. And then they had a box sitting outside by the dumpster. They were going to throw it, but they didn't throw it away. And I showed up. I said, hey, guys, you going to throw that away? And they're like, yeah. And I says, it's got a suit in there. And this guy was on a battleship called the Big Stick. He just says, yeah, nobody cares. He's broke. There's his RV right there. We're going to sell it. We're going to sell it off for the money he owes to stay here at this most expensive hotel next to the hospital ever devised. Great plan, that is. The globalists take the last of your wealth in a retirement home, which is your home, after you spent your life working for this place. Good job, America. It's all about the investment capitalists. It's not about you, is it? Work your life away and find out in the end your kids are shitheads, and they tear your entire legacy apart. They take your house because you have to go to a retirement home because nobody can deal with you, because you get dementia magically, and then you end up, they get all your assets. They suck the last bit of wealth they can get out of all of us. These are globalists, guys. These are bad people. Venture capitalists, all these conglomerations like Blackrock. These are the monsters that are underneath your bed as a child, because you're going to grow up, and when you get old, they're going to take everything you got. Or you get sick, they're going to take everything you got. Or you can't make it anymore, they're going to take everything you got. They're stripping the flesh off of us on the way to the cemetery from the morgue. That's adventure capitalism. Yeah, monsters. Absolutely. And they run it, Salt Lake, the Mormons run it. I invested in an apartment complex in Florida. Yeah, to milk the immigrants of all the money with the taxpayers, which is us, to house 50 million or 20 million people come across the border. They're all invested in apartment complexes because they know that there was a flood of people coming. So in the pandemic, they bought all the apartment complexes up, all the trailer parks they could buy up, and then they just suck the life out of everybody. And then people are living in their cars, and they're happy about it. And they go to church on Sunday. Oh, that's what I would do. America, America. In most cases, residents don't own their mobile homes in a trailer park. Gosh, Jim. But the land and infrastructure is owned by the park owner, who also controls the park's rules. So you have a lord of the land, And then you have venture capitalists now that have just taken advantage of this. Let's see percentage by numbers. Now they own 12% of them. I know that. I have a friend that lives in one of these. These are usually monsters in California. The snakes of the snakes buy trailer parks. The worst of the worst buy slums. You're talking demons on earth. Literally demonic. I mean, you can't do this to these people. I've seen it in my whole life. They take the immigrants, they put them in trailer parks, like just use them for federal money. They're doing it today. This is the hideout for the majority of people that are not even supposed to be here. Drugs, gangs, sanctuary seekers that have lost their asylum. They're hiding in trailer parks, And then they have the rich trailer parks for the old people that are sucking the life out of them. It's just such this place. Like when the rich ladies on the news say we gotta have people pick your fruits, that those people should be booed and shamed and ran off into the never nothingness at their age of 80, and they're still running this place as old boomers that won't die. Literally, they're like, I got people pick your fruits. You gotta have people live in your trailer parks. You have the poor to support the rich. You have people build your houses. Okay, so the main goal was to pump as many Oxycontins into the South and into rural America, get the older generation that had worked their guts out for nothing. There's no reason why they did this, everybody. Now, I look back all the way back to the 54. We did this for nothing. We all just got to show our hands and say, we did nothing here. Look at the South. Look at the devastation. Look what they haven't been there. South North Carolina, Tennessee. They haven't been back to fix anything. FEMA hasn't done hardly anything. There's entire counties left alone with no FEMA, even today when Trump hates them. So it's time to put our hands out and say, we're done. Cut the JB Big Boy chain to the restaurant stuff off us. We're done with you. You fed us Oxycontins, meth, heroin, all this stuff. You defended poppy fields in Afghanistan for 20 years. You spent all this doing, and you opened the border and let all the drugs flow in. When you had your war on drugs, which wasn't a war on drugs, it was a war on us. And then you took the last of our wealth, and I know how you did it. It's a Ponzi scheme. It was housing and food. You've done this to all of us. This is how you suck the life out of last these people, because you know they're going to retirement homes, and then the retirement globalists, which I witnessed this personally happen. I witnessed the globalists buy out all their retirement homes. These ones I've known. I won't say where. They come in, they're French, they're German, they're Spanish, they're Chinese, and they come in, they buy them up. Why? To get the last wealth extracted out of your entire life. They want your last, they want your blood, they want your flesh, and they want it now. And we have only ourselves to blame in the venture capitalists. Why is our representatives allowing these monsters to rape us? Capitalism, that's why. Well, you can come with us here at 45 News Utah and the Peace Congregation, and you can walk away from all that. The arms are open. It's time to walk away from this. So in the U.S., mobile home parks, trailer parks are increasingly owned by private equity firms, hedge funds, and large corporations rather than mom and pops. And the mom and pops are bad people. Don't get me wrong. There's a special place in hell for the bad ones. This is where these slumlords are the ones that Christ is going to come back if you're a Christian. He'll burn the hell out of them. That's just facts. That's not me. It's Jesus. So you just it's up to you, bro. It's not me. I'm just a spectator in this mess. I'm watching the flesh being stripped from these people that work their guts out. You go back in time, they probably wouldn't like me or like you, or you probably couldn't stand being with these people back in their self-privilege. But realization is what's happening now is wrong. I mean, these people are begging to be saved. And I know they were jerks. I know I grew up with the older generation. I know they turned into total a-holes. They were. But remember the violence and alcoholism, and these kids are fed a bunch of lies, fed meat, potatoes their entire life, and told to go serve their country and die for this place that was just going to slave them as soon as they came back. It's all it was about. It was all slavery and drugs and big pharma and working away for health care. That's all this is about. And then eventually taking away what you may have saved up. So I told my wife, I said, if I had $500,000 life insurance, let's just put this in perspective. They just came out with a study yesterday. I read it at 45 News Utah on Facebook. To live in North Dakota with $500,000 and Social Security disability, or just disability, you could live right now for 15 years before the money ran out with $500,000 at the cost of living in North Dakota. Cost of living now, is through the roof. But in 5 years, it's going to be double, triple. 10 years, you can't even fathom it. The average American Gen Z or Gen X has 189 whatever $1,000 in 401k or savings. That's not even enough to live in North Dakota for 4 years if you get disabled. With your disability, you're looking at a maximum. Even the last of baby boomers are 60. You can't. Your average is like $280,000 in your 401k because they robbed you 2008. They took all the money. They know they did this. The venture capitalists came in. Private equity firms came in. They're the biggest, richest firms in the world. They're eating the lives of everybody, and nobody's saying anything about it. You can't even hardly live in North Dakota with what you have. You're not going to be able to, unless you're a venture capitalist. Eventually, if your money's working, if everybody's working for your money. That's what we're doing. During the pandemic, they stole all the money. They passed it out to everybody they could, except for the poor. They gave the working class. They gave just enough to survive. Told everybody to run, and told the essential workers to go die. I was a part of that. I got told to go die. It didn't matter. Just go die. Or you're gonna go feed the people. You're a hero, says Nancy Pelosi. Good job, Ricky. And they told us to die, and nobody paid us nothing. They made heroes acts for everybody that didn't do anything. So the 2020 to 2025, I think, has been the largest theft in human history for the rich, which is backed up by the upper 10% have made more money. They got 67+% of every dollar in value is theirs, and we're all fighting for 33%. Remember that. In Utah, it's $22.50 to make a living wage, just to be above the water. And you go to ZipRecruiter, it's $15 to $12 an hour jobs. It's over, everybody. We join me at 45 News Utah. Let's push forward. Let's build this channel, and let's get to the White House and let's hold their feet over the fire to the fire. Let's get them up there and say, hey, how come Utah's $22.50 just to live here? You got to make it $130,000 to even afford a townhome in this hole called Utah. Why the hell is this happening? Venture capitalism and open borders. And you need to get this fixed. There's 20 million to 50 million people, 50 million non-native born Americans now, which this number hasn't changed in years, that are fighting for the same houses. And why is there immigrant loans and loans not going to people? Because they got to keep you poor. You got to have those that work in shop and home ec to support the college in the affluent towns of America. You go, Mortimer, our child and our nephews and nieces are all going to the most prestigious colleges. Remember, the people that represent you, the answer to the special interests, they're little prostitutes. They actually all came from the same affluent areas. They all come from this upper class. Your Ocasio-Cortez was a bartender, and she's done nothing for anybody. It's all lies, everybody. Wake up. This place is a great, big, fat, stupid-ass lie. And as soon as they can eat up your generation and take what wealth you might, they want anything. They want the crumbs. They want the even crumbs from the tablecloth is what they want. And here we were. They gave us Trump. I like Trump. I like Elon Musk, the mask of the Cylon. I love it. But he's Tesla, and that's Dr. Trump, and we're back in the same Tesla-Trump era 2.0. His company isn't named Farfanugan. It's Tesla. Nikolai Tesla. Boy, everybody's fast to catch it on there. Don't worry, they're going to suck your blood out of you anytime now, because as soon as you fail, even you Gen Zers sitting out there getting robbed and raped, they're brutalizing you over gender studies. You need to come to the 45 News Utah. You need to come to Christ, because I'm telling you what, this is worse than George Carlin said. They were stuffing the fat kids, the fat people with their big SUVs going down the road, buying all their stupid stuff with backpacks to pack their amounts of foods and their junk and their cakes, their cookies, and these fat people run around eating everything they could eat. Now they just want your blood. Now it's venture capitalists. They own everything. My house went up $100 a month last year due to escrow and insurances. Now it's gone up another $80. Thanks a lot. They're even pricing out just all of us that even have houses. They want what we have now because the venture capitalists, the capitalists have to make more money. Every day they scheme on how to make more profit. That's all it is about. That's why Wall Street goes up. They drop it down to buy it up and kick you off. And that's all they're after. They want to destroy your 401ks. If we had enough yet, I'm asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. And all of you guys out in Asia and Europe, you're the same boat, bros. Just kill over. They're just eating up your assets. Death taxes. Estate taxes. They're doing the same thing, bro. India, they just burn you along a river. What are we doing here? It's not time for humanity to stand up. Africa, they got Christians in one little 500,000 of them in a small little area living in mud huts. What are we doing here, you know? The world needs to stand together and say, remember, we are the world. I know they want a war with Ukraine. We are the children. I know they want to go to nuclear war with Ukraine, Slav Ukraine. We can make a better place. So let's, yeah. But they gave you Slava Ukraine. Slava. Now there's millions dead. The war was pointless. Kind of like Afghanistan. Yeah, with the Soviets in the 80s, with Osama bin Laden and Mujahideen. Yeah, did you say Osama bin Laden? Yeah, he was in a cave in Pakistan, idiots. Yeah, that's why they were out there bombing Afghanistan. We got to get those Afghanis up there. We know the Talibanis up there. He was in Pakistan. He was on dialysis. And he used to be the Mujahideen that we used to pay for. There was our paid prostitutes fighting the Russians in Afghanistan in the 80s. We went back there. We threw it all in for George Bush in America. Got to defend those opium fields. I mean, those... got to fight terrorism. Which ones? The Taliban's? What are we after today? Bush. Remember, a Bush, a Dick, and a colon took you to war. A Bush, a Dick, and a colon took you to 20 plus years perennial war. America. Yeah, hi, I'm Rick. Nice to meet you guys. Anyway, stay tuned. It's a short episode today, going to 45 News Utah on Facebook, and I do the rest of my live video today for my followers on Facebook. And if you'd like, subscribe, please subscribe, because we need 50 subscribers to get to where we can do a live show every single day. Piss off the world. That's what I'm about. Piss off the world. Every day. Piss off the kingdoms. I literally want to war with the kingdoms. I will say whatever. I don't care. Why? Because they have been using us. And it's time. Everybody's not a venture capitalist to understand. They want your blood. And they want right. It's fake, misinformation. Really? Is that what it is? Yeah, sure. Go to the nearest retirement home. Find out what they're doing to those poor people. We got to hurry this. Private equity firm, hedge funds, largest blah, blah, the mom and pop and enterprises with some of the largest ownerships, including equity, lifestyle, property, ELS. Is that like elves? ELVs? It's ELS. Clayton Homes. And 21st Mortgage Corporation. Why are we allowing these people to do this to us? Why? Because they opened the border. They had millions, uncounted millions coming. We're not creating more children. Everybody, the U.S. isn't replacing itself. They got to bring immigrants in, use U.S. dollars, tax dollars. They suck it out of us. They raise rent. People living in their cars. You know, there's a whole portion of the population that have died or given up on drugs. You wonder why? It's too expensive to live. This isn't fiction. This is factual. Rent should never be over $1,000. And they took my house and they put it up over $1,000. And I'm buying it. It's a fixed interest rate. And they do it with insurances and escrows and taxes. Time to stop the monsters, everybody. It isn't going to get better unless we all come together. Anyway, so these guys own it. They're buying it out. They buy out the houses. They buy up the apartments. They're all invested in it. And it's time to make laws against this monopolization. And if we don't make laws and we don't push our representatives to pass laws and to take this on head on, the price of housing. And if we don't make single-family homes back to single-family homes and allow these to be rental properties, we will never get a handle on these men. They're not going to stop. And they're going to be doing tours to your neighborhood where your children and your grandchildren are for the next 2 generations. And they're going to be in awe over how stupid 90% of us are to their 10%. How stupid we are because we're underwater and we can never get out of it. And they know it. We're chained to the table, waiting for crumbs to fall off the tablecloth. Why there lies from the tablecloth. La 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 la. System of down. And we're just catching them. This is going to get better. It's not going to get better unless we join together. Anyway, hopefully this video doesn't get demonetized, which there's no monetization to this anyways. I'm making 0. I'd like to do this full time. I've been doing it now for 4 years. But we'll see. Thanks for watching.